What's up, y'all? Thanks for joining me today. I've got a question for you. Where do you come from? Are you the result of nothing getting really hot and exploding and becoming something? Are you, in fact, stardust? Do you believe that this water-covered rock hurtling through space at a ridiculous pace somehow manages to stay the exact distance from the sun necessary to keep you from burning up in an instant or freezing to death? Or does the explanation that so many people call fantasy actually make more sense?
Yeah.
Swim jig.
So yeah, I've spent these last few weeks really focusing on fishing well as opposed to just fishing. It's one thing to fish for panfish all the time, bluegills and sunfish, but it's a totally different thing to go out here and try to pinpoint bass, figure out where they're going to be, get on them, and make them eat. So I've really been focusing on studying the lake, studying the tackle I have at my disposal, and figuring out which conditions are going to best match which pieces of tackle that I have. All the local lakes have become super choked out once again with this nasty sludge grass here. I don't even know what it's called. Don't really care at this point. I'll look it up eventually. That's fine. But yeah, they're nasty. They're choked out. They don't want to be fished, but the bass love it. So I'm gonna get up in it. Anyway, so here I found this spot on this lake. It's in between my two normal spots. It's a point. To my left here, the lake gets pretty narrow, and there's a wall where it leads into a secondary lake. And to the right where I'm looking now is the open section of the lake. So I was looking at this lake on Google Maps, and I was like, hey, there's a point here. I have not been fishing. What am I doing? Let me go get up in there. So I have. And twice now I've pulled 3-pound plus fish out of there. So that feels really good. To be able to say, I studied, I learned, I did it, and it worked out the way that it was supposed to. It's almost like it's science, I'm no animalologist, but their behavior is becoming predictable.
Make a little noise out here, huh? Just after that cast, that was...
Yank. I've really been focusing on fighting fish the correct way, especially throwing these spinners around, learning to, when they hit, let them eat that plastic for a second, set that hook, and don't rip them out of the water. You can't water ski a 3-pound fish. It's not a good idea. So I've really been focusing on slowing down and getting that fish to shore safely. If I set the hook correctly, he's not going to come off.
Oh, 295, that's him. Thank you, Father. And thank you, my friend. Look at that chunk. Come on, get out of here. Come on. Bye-bye. She gone. The big girl. Let's go.
Yep, that thing.
I've been doing my best to fish proper spaces. So, I'm throwing to edge of grass lines. I'm trying to throw to hit holes. Dragging past, individual clumps of grass and weeds, that type of thing. Trying to work the baits the right way and all that kind of stuff. It's paying off. Just understanding where they're going to be based on what's happening is a tremendous help when you're out here trying to catch these bass, especially on a lake like this, to where out in the middle is like a bass haven because it's deepish and plenty of vegetation for them. You can't cast out there all the time, so you have to find the ones that are closer to shore within casting distance, and that's where they're going to be, on those grass lines, in those holes, up here in these little alcoves where there's still some water moving around, but at the end of the day, coming out of that summer sun, they're able to find some shade and get cooled before the night feed starts.
Did that really just happen, yo? Wow.
Texas Reed. Wait.
Tell you something. It's been said a million times in the past.
Swim
It's
team.
going to be said a million times in the future. And it's been true every single one of those million times. Fishing is a transformative, meditative, spiritual activity, if you allow it to be. It's so easy to get bogged down with everyday life, with the things that you can't control, even the things that you can control and choose not to, and just think to yourself, if this is all there is, I'm really screwed.
Whoa!
Yank. It's incredibly easy to seek defeat when victory is very much an option. Fishing is an activity that I'm fortunate to have loved from a young age, and I'm even more fortunate now to understand that the basis of fishing is connection between man and the creation of the Almighty. When we go and we put lure on hook in water and we attempt to capture fish, we are interacting with God's creation in a way that I think few other activities allow. I love hiking, I love stargazing, all these things, but those aren't necessarily interactions. Those are activities that you do and you happen to be doing them outside. Whereas with fishing, you are engaging with the lake, the river, the ocean, whatever you're messing around in. You are reading creation. You are seeking to understand the nature of a fish. Because a fish's nature, a fish's mentality is not like ours. Fish don't think, I'm hot, what are my options? Fish simply say, hot, go, cool. And it's up to us to wade through the nature of our own minds and say, a fish is not a complex organism mentally. Where is he going to be? There's no mystery behind that.